Hey everyone, Creatively Cara here, and my channel is all about taking you along on my creative journey. Today we're going to be setting up the month of October in my bullet journal. But first, to start off with, we're going to do a quick flip through of what I have so far in September. I love this theme. I was really happy that I went with some more bright and vibrant colors, and I'm actually filling out my mood tracker, and I'm doing this one word a day, which kind of usually goes along with my mood, but could just be a random word as well. I've also been keeping up well on my habit tracker and actually utilizing my note page. I feel like this month is going really well for me in my bullet journal. I've been keeping track and staying on top of a lot of things. So even set some goals for myself here, and I've actually been doing pretty well with those, except for these last few days. I have a cold, so haven't been able to exercise as I wanted to, but it's okay. I'll catch back up. So you can see I put random pages in between my weeks whenever I need the collection or notes or a list of some sort. This weekly spread used some washi tape, and I was actually inspired by it to create a video of some weekly spreads using washi tape. So if you haven't checked that out, that'll be linked up in the cards above. I am doing Transform 20. That is from Beachbody. I've been trying to get back into shape after having my second child. This is my current week, so it's what we're on right now, and this page will be for next week, and then I have one more page yet that will be a monthly review page as well. These are the supplies that we'll be using today. I have my washi tape, I have my double-sided Tombow tape dispenser, Crayola Super Tips, a mild liner, actually going to try out my circle stencil today, and some Staedtler brush markers, my handy dandy Pilot G2, and a brush pen with my Papermate Flare. And I'll be using my HP Sprocket printer, as I'll be doing kind of a journaling page. All of these items will be linked in the description box down below. To start off, we're going to do a cover page, and this will be the style for my headers throughout the month of October, and just kind of simple with a straight line and some hand lettering there. Now, I wanted to go very minimal with October, but I really wanted to use the color purple, which is actually the color I focused on last year for October. If you haven't seen that plan with me, you can check that out here in the top right corner, but that was a spider web or spider theme. This year, I didn't really want to do anything relating to Halloween or anything like that, so I knew I wanted it to be more minimal, more black and white, but I really wanted to add some color with purple again. So I thought about it, and I almost did a black rose, so I would have had like a black and white theme, but again, wanted that purple, so decided to do a purple rose, and of course we had to have the green leaves as well, because I thought it would be weird if I did like black or grayscale leaves, so yeah. And just adding a little bit of drop shadows in here as well. Have you decided on your theme yet for October? If so, let me know in the comments below what you're doing. I'd love to hear what your ideas are. The next page, instead of doing like a quote page, I'm gonna just do kind of a journaling page. Of course, the printer paper on my HP Sprocket ran out, so I had to refill that really quickly, but it prints off a blue sheet first, and then it'll print off my image, which will just be a purple rose up close, and the journaling page will include this random scrapbook paper I have of words. Don't even know what they say. I just cut it out and put it in. I'll use my Tombow dual-sided tape dispenser to stick that in. That is such a handy tool. If you love journaling, like putting paper in kind of like scrapbook, definitely recommend something like that. Then just trying to figure out how I wanted the rest of the papers and everything to fall into place here. The purples don't quite match the purple I chose for my actual rose, but it's fine. I just thought purples in general would be good. I didn't have too many colored papers, so that is what I went with. Of course, my Tombow tape dispenser ran out of tape as well. Just seems to be the theme today, but I quickly refilled that up. It's not too difficult, so we were good to go within a matter of minutes. And then just pasting everything in. I was going to add a quote in on the black paper, but I didn't know what quote to do, so I just stuck with one word, and that is beauty. I did a little bit of faux calligraphy to enhance that a little bit, and that completed that page for me. Next up will be my calendar spread, and I decided to actually use a ruler this time around because I wanted my lines to be straight. Sometimes I forego the ruler just because it's much faster to just do it without it, but hey, sometimes you want it to look a little bit more clean. So I'm going to be doing a YouTube and Instagram tracker. I kind of started this in September, and it's just really for me to keep track of how many subscribers or followers I have at the start of the month and then how many I have at the end, so I can just see how my stuff is growing. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so. And if you have not followed me on my Instagram, I post weekly updates about my bullet journal and other creative items that I'm working on in there. I just added a little bit of a rose here as well. Yes, do apologize for my voice. I sound quite sick right now. I've got a really bad cold. I made this stem a little thick here, but I got the thorns, so there's that. A little bit of calligraphy for my headers, and that was just kind of go along with what I had for my October and main header. And then I have a Tombow brush marker here that I'm just going to kind of darken that top line so that I can write in the numbers for each day. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the simplicity of this and the colors, and of course had to add in a Happy Halloween sticker there. Oh yeah, I totally grabbed the wrong Crayola marker, so this is like a dark bluish gray. Switched it for my header and used the correct light gray that I used on the first page, but it's fine. It's whatever. I just moved on. Now I tried to do a close-up when I drew these roses. I've been practicing them a little bit before I started putting them in my bullet journal, but really that first piece, it's like some swirlies, some like Ys. Then once you get the center figured out, you do these wavy patterns around the outside of it until it kind of looks like a complete rose. So, I mean, it's pretty basic. I think I'm going to do a how to draw a rose tutorial on my Instagram. So if you want to head over there to follow me, I'll probably have that posted there soon. Added in my leaves here, and then my header. This will be my notes page. This is the first time I'm actually going to do a notes page with 2 pages. Normally I only have it on 1, but as I mentioned in September, I'm actually using my notes page this time, and I've been using it more for planning purposes, so I figured that I would try to make it 2 pages this time so I had more room to actually write notes down. Then I added in some washi tape. Of course, when you place washi tape down, it's never where you want it to be, so had to make some adjustments there. This is going to be my habit tracker. It's kind of looking like how it did last month, but I really liked this layout. I kind of flip back and forth with what I want to have for my habit tracker, but I like to keep a few of them, like exercise and taking my vitamin and all that good stuff. So there are 31 days, so I had to black out one of the boxes because I had 32 boxes here. Filling in my header again. This is a brush pen. It's a Pentel sign pen, but I wasn't doing it very well, so my lines weren't quite as thick as I wanted them. So I kind of went back over to darken the lines a little bit to make them a little bit more thicker and more defined. So sort of like a brush pen mixed with faux calligraphy, which happens sometimes. Now I didn't want to draw a rose on this page, so I just used my washi tape. When I did that one, I realized that the bottom seemed too empty, so I added in my big black Scotch washi tape and then put the purple over that, and I think it looked a little bit better because it filled it in more. Now, I told you I would be using my circle stencil this time around. Normally I don't do circular trackers just because I've never had the right tools. I recently purchased this stencil from Amazon and it works pretty well, but I still am trying to figure it out. So we're gonna try this month with a circular mood tracker. And the middle line, the inside line kind of, I don't know, is all wonky, so I just darkened it a little bit. And then just went in and added in 31 lines. I did write this in pencil first because I couldn't get the spacing quite right. I don't, again, have the proper tools for this, so I just kind of eyeballed it. It was just the easiest way for me to do that. But here's me sketching out 2 roses that I'm going to add into the background, so you can kind of see my process on that a little bit. But again, I'll give you guys a tutorial over on my Instagram if you're interested in replicating this theme. This one was a little bit different because the roses were behind, so I didn't quite do as much of the swirly pieces and the Y in the middle. The top one had it, but this one at the bottom was just more of the wavy lines around the outside. And I love this color combo together. I think that the dark outline worked really well with the purple mild liner in here. Do you guys like to track your mood or your habits or anything of that kind of sort? I include it every month, but usually I struggle to keep up with it. So I keep debating every month, do I include it again? And I usually do, because I do think that, you know, mental health tracking is important, and I think that those things can kind of align with that. So I'm trying to decide if I want to change things up a little bit or not, but I'm curious what you guys do. Maybe you guys have some inspiration that I could try something new. So share what your tracking ideas are below. And just adding in some drop shadows here just to make things pop out a little bit more. And I might change this because I'm not actually happy with the 3 colors for tracking my mood, because there's only 3 moods and I could have kind of some different ones. So I might recreate that and just kind of put some tape over it or something. Here you can see a little bit more of a larger rose with that kind of swirly and Y center. And this will be my first weekly for the month of October. I've actually never really done a weekly spread like this before with, you know, a piece of art in the middle, but I wanted to give it a try since I thought a rose would be perfect for being right dead center. And then I will kind of place the days of the week on the outsides, not really measured out perfectly or anything. I sometimes like to just have more of a random weekly setup. I kind of sometimes like to have it more just carefree than super strict, but you know, sometimes I count out the spaces. This time around I didn't. So just drawing in my rose. I add a little bit more detail to this one compared to my other roses, but I wanted to make it just a little bit more artsy than my other ones. And I wanted to try adding in some shapes behind it to give it a little bit more definition and design. Now, I got this inspiration from Pinterest, so I'll share that inspiration down below so you can kind of see the original piece, but I kind of made it my own here. And to kind of label each day of the week, I used my washi tape again. I probably could have maybe cut the black in half or something, but I think I'll still have enough room to write in here. And using my white Jelly Roll pen over my black tape here, it's so beautiful. I love how it looks. Here's a flip through of my entire setup. I think it's fairly minimal, but has a nice pop of color with those roses, and I cannot wait to start October. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my video today. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Until next time, bye-bye.